Whoa! Oh! Oh, it's coming right at me. It's so absorbent. And in 3D.
Adam, the ShamWow guy is not in 3D.
Ah, 3D newspaper! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Hi, I'm Jeff John Cox.
And I'm Adam Scott.
And I'm really tired. We just saw Up,
Hey, from Pixar.
the new Disney Pixar movie. It's the follow-up to last year's WALL-E, which I thought was incredible. This one, I didn't really find that incredible, but he really liked it. The story of Up follows old man Carl Fredricksen. Actually, it starts with him as a young kid meeting the love of his life, his wife Ellie, and their dream of taking a balloon to the lost world of Paradise Falls. With his home about to be taken over by the bank after a misunderstanding with a construction worker, Carl Fredricksen decides to tie a bunch of balloons to his house and fulfill his dead wife's dream and get to Paradise Falls himself. And he has a straggler, a little Boy Scout wannabe named Russell, that tags along for some of the fun.
Once again, with Up, Pixar has delivered in the visual effects department. We saw it in 3D, but I think even in 2D, the rendering will just blow most viewers away because the textures, the shading, everything. I mean, even the textures of little things like water, rocks, fabric, you can get lost in those, and they are just gorgeous. It is really, really a feast for the eyes.
Well, you know, unfortunately, I just wasn't blown away by this movie like I was WALL-E. I mean, you know how much I like WALL-E. I really like WALL-E. And WALL-E was a non-stop kind of movie. It was frenetically paced. It had you caring about the main character so much you were on the edge of your seat, not knowing what was going on. And this one has a lot of breaks in the action that really bog it down to me. And at one point, even one of the characters says something like, "It's the boring that I remember." And that's all I remember about this movie is the boring. That and the fact that Pixar movies have started to make me feel. And I don't understand why they're making me feel. I don't like feeling, Adam. It's like a vampire in sunlight. It just hurts at the end of Pixar movies now. It's really bothered me.
I actually thought the plot of Up had a lot going for it. It wasn't very cluttered with a bunch of needless side plots.
There was nothing going on in a lot of it.
But at least there weren't a lot of, really scary sequences that, made kids cry or anything.
No. And there were, I have to say though, there were some areas in the movie. You said that this would be a great movie for, 4 years old?
Excellent.
Like the greatest movie ever for someone 4 years old. There was some fussing by the smaller kids during the dead parts, and some fussing by me.
And now it's time for
Worst Movie News Ever!
This week's worst movie news ever is kind of a trick, Adam. I'm going to trick you.
Okay.
Because you're going to think it's best movie news ever.
All right.
The producers of the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer film are talking reboot or a new movie, based on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I want to believe it's not a trick. What?
Oh, it's a trick.
No.
Because they haven't approached Joss Whedon to be involved in it whatsoever.
Oh.
And that was this week's
Worst Movie News Ever!
And next week we'll be reviewing the Will Ferrell action comedy Land of the Lost.
This looks pretty funny. I don't know why, but I loved the show when I grew up. I watched a marathon like last week. It doesn't hold up well, but this I love Will Ferrell, so maybe we'll enjoy this.
And Slee Stacks.
Yeah, and Chaka. And possibly Chaka Tacos. All right, that'll be next week. I'm Jeff John Cox.
And I'm Adam Scott.
See you there.